Time now for Michigan's #1 outdoor radio show, Mike Avery's Outdoor Magazine. Outdoor Magazine is brought to you by Jay's Sporting Goods, the Yider Insurance Group, Forward Corporation and T.R. McTaggart, Angler Quest Boats, Security Credit Union, Garber Chevrolet, and by Michigan Brand Meats. Now, here's Mike Avery.
Indeed, this is the big guy, Mike Avery. Welcome to hour number 2 of this week's Outdoor Magazine show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. So glad to have you along with us as we continue our journey into this outdoor lifestyle here in the great state of Michigan and occasionally beyond. A celebration, a promotion, an encouragement, a defense of hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping, and all things biologically sound, all things biologically necessary, all things just plain fun. And even if you want to go this route, and I do, ordained by God. What more authority do you need? What more encouragement do you need to get outdoors and just enjoy the fresh air, get away from all the technology, get away from the election stuff, just get out there, feel the wind on your face, feel the... and it's a great time of year, isn't it? This is, and I recently feel the need to talk more about this and explain this every week. Outdoor Magazine Radio is a radio show. It is recorded, scheduled, produced, distributed as a 3-hour weekly radio show on a whole bunch of stations across Michigan. And I do think the best way to listen, if you can, is on your local AM or FM station. But if you can't, if you live in some part of our state not covered by the broadcast signal, or if your local affiliate doesn't carry all 3 hours, you can always hear the show as a podcast. Now, podcasting is a buzzword these days, and I've been doing it for a long time. In the case of the Outdoor Magazine podcast, it is the audio from the radio show made available anywhere other than on your local radio station. So the question then becomes, well, where do you hear it? Anywhere you get your podcasts from, you can probably hear the podcast version of Outdoor Magazine Radio. Some options, I would recommend my website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. You can hear it on the Mike Avery Outdoors Facebook page. We're now on Amazon Music. I put it on my Twitter feed. It's on LinkedIn. It's on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Radio.com. Like I said, anywhere else you get your podcasts from. By the way, I also produce monthly podcasts for Jay's Sporting Goods, Offshore Tackle, Angler Quest Boats, Killer Food Plots, and Polar Craft Boats. And by the time you hear this show, we will have a new Polar Craft podcast and a new Killer Food Plots podcast online as well. But I do appreciate you being along with me. I do appreciate you listening. I do appreciate your support over the years. Thank you very much. When I look at the years that I've been doing this, you know, the experiences, the adventures, that's been an awful lot of fun. But getting to know some really great people has been a true blessing. And I'm thinking right now of Lance Valentine. Lance Valentine of Walleye 101, Teachin Fishin. Just an absolutely sweetheart of a guy, a great guy, loves to share info, extremely knowledgeable. I got probably one of the smartest anglers I have ever talked with, and I'm glad to have him along with us this weekend on the show. Lance, my friend, welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. That's wow. I got to take my hat off and expand the stress a little bit after that one.
Well, it's true, Lance. I mean, you have the unique ability. I hate to put it in these terms, but I'm going to say it, to think like a fish and then to share that information with others. There aren't a lot of people who can do that, not at the level that you are.
You know, it's something we take great pride in, you know, and obviously in today's world, the internet and every place else is full of all these little, 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute snippets. Or I've been watching some YouTube stuff the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of 10, 12, 15-minute videos of guys fishing, and you spend 15 minutes and you stop and go, okay, I just watched 15 minutes of a guy fishing. what did I learn? I didn't learn anything. I learned this guy went down to this pond and threw this bait and caught a few fish. Okay, great. Well, one of the things that we take great pride in is we concentrate on absolutely really the polar opposite of that, as not really getting you on the water and catching fish and all of our stuff, but teaching you the things you need to do and know and think about and how to think about those things. So when you do get on the water, you can be more successful by making good decisions. So, it's been 2 decades of doing it, and thank guys like you for recognizing that we do a good job. Really do appreciate that.
Well, that is my pleasure. You got off to, you and a lot of other guys in your shoes, got off to kind of a rough start this year. The COVID shut you down for much of the year. Last time we talked, you were getting ready to do some perch charters on Saginaw Bay. How did that go for you, Lance?
Well, unfortunately, not very good. We got to do a couple, and then kind of life kind of hit us. We had some little issues at home we had to take care of. So didn't get a chance to do a lot of our charters. I think we got to do 2 or 3. Had one really good one, one average one, and one poor one. So
you kind of had the whole gamut covered there, didn't you?
Yeah, kind of like Goldilocks there. But then we had someone in our family that needed some help and had to cancel.
Hey,
now we're into
life happens, and you got to take care of what you got to take care of.
Well,
I understand that.
I'll tell you what, I am so looking forward to December 31st, like I think a lot of people are this year.
Yeah. Let's kiss this year goodbye and just wave and watch it in the rearview mirror. But I am excited for you because it sounds like you are going to be able to pull off your big event you have every year in the fall on Lake Erie, right?
Yes, our fishing education weekend that we've been doing since 2003 down in here in Ohio on Lake Erie. We weren't quite sure, obviously, this year if we were going to be able to do it. And thank goodness, as of right now, we were able to plan last week and get all the pieces in place, the places to store the boat and the fish cleaning and the lodging and the food. We were able to get all that into place. We're still going to be having our event the first weekend of November 5th or 8th this year. So we're excited we can go back and continue, like I said, something we started in 2003, 4 days of fishing, education, seminars, sharing fishing information on the water. We're pretty glad that we get a chance to do it again this year and not have to miss a year.
So as folks are here in the radio show this weekend, you're talking next weekend coming up. It's here already. Do you have openings still?
Yeah, we do. We had to kind of cut. We usually get between 85 and 100 anglers. We had to cut that down to we're really kind of limited to 50. As of right now, as we're taping, we've got 38. So we do have 12 spots still open. It's $400 a person, and that includes meals and lodging Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, breakfast and dinner. Dinner only on Thursday, breakfast only on Sunday, but breakfast and dinner on Friday and Saturday, lodging Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, a place to keep your boat, all your boat launch fees. We'll provide a place to clean fish. You have to just bring your fish cleaning stuff. Seminars every night. I think Ali Shakur is going to come and be one of our guest speakers one night. So we do a fishing seminar every night, a kind of fishing information meeting during breakfast, kind of where to go that day and what to do. We'll have a couple of vendors there. We'll have some tackle there specifically for that trip. So if you don't have the right stuff, we'll make sure you get it. A lot of my staff will be there. Chris McCulley, Dean Cushman will be able to help you with your Lowrance and Humminbird electronics, get those tuned up, get those updated, get your Motor Guide XI5 updated if you have one. We'll have both an Angler Quest and a Polar Craft there. So if you want to come down and take a test ride, we'll have those there. So lots of things going on other than just the fishing, but the focus is on the fishing and the education.
And it's like a 3-day on the water, Mother Nature cooperating, seminar where you come back at the end of the day and you shoot the breeze and share what happened and what you learned.
Right. So, yeah, we have a formal breakfast together with everybody, and we do a little fishing meeting in the morning. We all go fishing during the day. We share information. We used to do it on the radio, but now that area is so crowded, there used to be nobody there when we first started, and we were able to just transmit information where we're catching fish freely through the through the radio waves. But
well, that's changed.
So now we do it through text and a private Facebook group. So we share information on the water. Every time someone catches a fish, they get on the whatever our communication network is, and let the other anglers know. So other anglers know what the other guys are doing so they can kind of make better decisions. Then we get together at night. We have dinner. We do a little fishing wrap-up of the day, and then we do a seminar, and then we kind of go back to the hotel, hang out as a group, and then we start all over again the next day. So it starts on Thursday. There's a few little workshops, a few little mini seminars on Thursday if guys want to come in early. A lot of guys come in Wednesday or the first thing Thursday morning and fish Thursday, and then start the event. Check-in starts at 3 o'clock on Thursday, and we go all the way through breakfast on Sunday. Most of the guys go fishing on Sunday. So it's 4 days of pretty intense fishing and education. It's really cool that you get a chance to learn something, go on the water and try it, and then come back and go, okay, I tried this. This didn't really work, so we make a few tweaks to kind of get you, then go back the next day right away and try it again. So it's kind of a unique way to learn the area down there, which is a great place to catch big walleye. It's a great way to learn some of the fall techniques, great way to learn your electronics because there's lots of fish. You can see them on your sonar. And it's just a great way to kind of be immersed in the whole hunting camp idea, kind of taking over to fishing. Lots of guys in the group, lots of guys and gals enjoying each other, the camaraderie and sharing information in one spot. It's really a cool thing above and beyond the fishing.
Well, yes, indeed. And you talk about the fishing. Now, we got to take a break here, but when we come back, we'll talk more about this fishing, this trophy fall walleye fishing on Lake Erie. Lance Valentine will be down there next weekend with a crew. But the information I suspect he's going to share with us after the break can help you anytime down there in the fall. Lance's website's walleye101.com and teachinfishin.com. More after the break right here on Outdoor Magazine. By now, you know all about Angler Quest boats. The center console design, binary wall system, and smooth ride with lots of room have anglers convinced a pontoon can be a great fishing rig. And the folks at Michigan-based Angler Quest continue to make their boats even better. Now the signature rocket launcher Arch can tilt down. That's great for high water levels, trailering, and storage. Also, there's a new panfish model that's perfect for smaller inland lakes. The popular Pro Troll models continue to dominate big water for walleye, salmon, and trout, and the family fish can keep everyone happy whether fishing or cruising. All Angler Quest boats are designed by fishermen and made in Michigan by skilled craftsmen using the latest technology. You can learn more online at anglerquestpontoons.com. That's anglerquestpontoons.com. With more models, upgraded designs, plenty of features, and bigger outboards, this is the perfect year for you to join the Angler Quest family.
At Garber Chevrolet in Midland, Saginaw, Linwood, Caro, and now Chesaning. We're better for a reason. Like Garber's low price guarantee. Get incredible everyday low prices on a new Chevy Equinox, Silverado, Traverse, or Trax. Think you found a better deal somewhere else? Bring it to us, and we will beat it. Getting more options and choices is always better. And Garber's combined inventory is the Great Lakes Bay region's largest selection of new Chevrolets. Browse online at garberchevrolet.com. Then use our Buy From Home feature to purchase entirely online. And Garber Chevrolet's customer service is in a class of its own. We always put your needs first. Better prices, better selection. There's a reason why you'll do better at Garber Chevrolet in Midland, Saginaw, Linwood, Caro, and now Chesaning. Home with a low price guarantee. Online at garberchevrolet.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You'll do better at Garber.
Everybody needs to put gas in their tank, so the next time, why not save money with fuel rewards from Forward Shell convenience stores? With fuel rewards, you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up at the 26 Forward Shell convenience stores. Plus, you can earn additional savings with select products and special offers at those Forward stores. You can save 20, 30, even 40 cents a gallon. And the more you use fuel rewards, the more you can save. I use the Fuel Rewards program every time I stop by a Forward Shell convenience store. And you can too. Go to fuelrewards.com. That's fuelrewards.com. You can also download the Fuel Rewards app on your phone. The Fuel Rewards program at your local Forward Shell convenience store. A great way to save money every time you fill up. To learn more, check out forwardconvenience.com. That's forwardconvenience.com. 20 feet in the air is no time to be second-guessing your choice in tree stands. But with the new Primal line of stands, you'll never have to worry about comfort or noise. Primal's new jaw and truss ladder system gives you an extra firm and quiet attachment, even on irregular trees. The Primal Grip Jaw system features a strong set of jaws so you can securely clamp around the tree. The Backbone Stabilizer Truss lets you connect to almost any healthy tree and eliminates annoying squeaks. With single ladder stands from 16 to 22 feet and double stands up to 18 feet, new Primal tree stands have a model for every hunter. To learn more, check out the website primaltreestands.com. That's primaltreestands.com. Stalk your prey the Primal way with Primal Tree Stands. You can hear the Outdoor Magazine show in St. Joe on WSJM 94.9 FM. You can hear us in Port Huron on WPHM 1380 AM and north of the bridge in the Sioux on ESPN 1400 WKNW. This segment of Outdoor Magazine brought to you by the Linwood Beach Marina and Campground. Linwood Beach can be your year-round Saginaw Bay fishing destination and your Mid-Michigan Tracker and Angler Quest headquarters. If you are still looking to get the boat put to bed for the winter, Linwood Beach can help you out there as well. They can winterize your boat. They can wrap your boat. They can store your boat. Also a great jumping off spot for Saginaw Bay waterfowl hunters, for fall walleye anglers as well. And if we have an ice season this year, Linwood Beach, a great place to, again, have it be your jumping off point on Saginaw Bay. Check them out online at linwoodbeachmarina.com. That's linwoodbeachmarina.com. While you're online, please head over to walleye101.com and teachinfishin.com, the two websites for Lance Valentine. Lance putting together a big event for next weekend on Lake Erie. And Lance, the thing I think is so exciting about this is every year, almost every year, your anglers get into some big fish. This is true trophy time on Lake Erie for walleye, isn't it?
It is, and actually really every place, but Lake Erie obviously is the king of the kings of big fish. And follows the time. These fish they're starting to put the feed bag on. They have both semi-developed eggs and big layers of fat, and that fat will disappear. They'll build that up till about the middle of January, and it'll start to disappear as they use it to get through the winter and get through spawning. So this is time of year that fish are getting to be close to their biggest they're ever going to be. They are aggressive. They are hungry. They are easy to find because they are traditionally up off the bottom a little bit. They're very easy to see on sonar. And the biggest thing is they're in big groups. So it's not like you have to search, get one here, two here, three here, one here, two here. When you get on the right pot of fish and everything dialed in, it's pretty simple to go from 0 to 6 or 8 in a live well in a very, very, very short amount of time. And the beauty of where we go in Lake Erie is every time your offshore planer board goes back, it could literally be a 15-pound fish. I think our education weekend record is a little over 15 pounds caught. Red sweatshirts, I think 2012 or 13 that was caught. So that is our record. Our record is a little bit over 15 pounds. But we see lots of 10, 11, 12 pound fish every year. And honestly, every time your offshore board goes back, you're like, is this the one? It is an exciting, great place to fish.
You don't need tattle flags with fish that size, do you?
No, you really don't need tattle flags. One of the things we tell guys about fall fishing, no matter where you're going to do it, this happens a lot in spring, but it happens a lot in fall, is make sure you run your baits high above the fish. And I'm not talking 2 or 3 feet. I'm talking get your bait 6, 7, 8, 9 feet above the fish. For some reason in cold water, these fish have a tendency to come a little further than they will in the summertime. And a lot of times in the fall, instead of your offshore board actually kind of falling back like it does in the summer, it'll go back 1 or 2 feet and then just go straight down like a bobber. That fish will come up 8, 9 feet, grab that crankbait, and pull it back down where he was. And you're like, I think I got one. You definitely don't need tattle flags. Definitely don't need tattle flags for this kind of fishing.
Wow, and when you got a 10-pound fish, they can pull that board under pretty good.
Yeah.
what depth of water? Because you're talking about, running your baits way above these fish. Well, how deep of water are you fishing down there?
So, as fall kind of continues on, fish have a tendency to kind of slide towards deeper water. So we'll fish depths anywhere from 20 to 40 feet is kind of the average. I would say 30 to 40 feet deep is kind of the average. Where we fish, if you take a little bit of boat ride, you can get to 50, 52 feet fairly easy. But that sweet spot for where we fish out of here in Ohio there is 30 to 40, 42 foot deep seems to be the sweet spot. And once those fish get up to about 24, 25 feet, they're biters. When they get up to about 18 feet, they're on fire, and presentation really doesn't matter that much. When they get that high, they just want to eat. So it's finding these fish suspended in over deep water, figuring out where they are, get your baits above them, and it's pretty simple fishing.
Well, let's talk about speeds, because this is one of my favorite topics with you, because you do not subscribe to what we think would be common sense.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
No. And I shouldn't say common sense. That came out wrong, and I apologize for that. The traditional wisdom, meaning that cold. Yeah, you're right. That was terrible. that cold water means you slow down, and you blew that out of the water. No pun intended. A long time ago.
Yeah. It's funny, and again, everybody just stop for a minute and think. Right. So we have fish that are in big groups. We have fish that are active, aggressive, and hungry. They want to eat. And we have very little bait left, because every bait fish right now that gets eaten isn't going to be replaced till April. So you have fish that are really, really hungry, and every day there's less and less bait. And every day it gets a little colder, and Mother Nature says, eat, 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 eat. Do you think that they care that a bait goes by slow? You don't think they're going to speed up and they're going to catch a lure that goes by at 2.5, 3 miles an hour? They absolutely are. And sometimes that is a trigger. And the other thing, when we had this speed conversation, I always ask people, what do you think a shad does when a 10-pound walleye is on his rear end chasing him down? Do you think he just swims through the water at half a mile an hour and says, oh, I hope you don't get me? No, he takes off like a bolt of lightning. So speed is a trigger. Forget that it's a little colder and the fish are a little fire. That's a bunch of crap, right? These fish are doing one thing. They need to get fat for winter. They need to get fat to get through spawning. Mother Nature tells them every day, eat more, eat more, eat more, eat more. They look up, there's less food, less food, less food, less food. Use that speed to trigger fish that might not bite a bait that goes by slow and doesn't look natural, because, again, a natural game fish is going to take off. Use that speed to trigger. We caught fish last year in the fall at 43.5 degrees surface temperature. We caught fish going 3.2 pulling crankbait. So don't be afraid to use that speed as a trigger.
And summertime. I mean, you keep pushing the limit in summertime. I realize we're past that season now, but what's the fastest you've trolled and actually got fish?
The fastest we've caught 1 or 2 has been 4.6, 4.7. The fastest that we actually did a full day charter and just kept at that speed, consistently, and that was our speed. We're not afraid to go 4.2, 4.3. I mean, that's a pretty simple speed to get at, especially when the fish are hungry, especially when they start to spread out a little bit. Sometimes in the fall and second, I bet you get these little pods, and we're not getting these big pods we used to get. So you got to cover a lot of water. So if you're going 2 and I'm going 4 over the course of a 5-hour day, I'm going to cover 10 more miles of water, or put my bait in front of 10 times as many fish, and we stay in the same spot, because I'm going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth more often. I just think it's one of those things that people miss. It doesn't work every day. I don't want to go, I went 3 mile and catch you. I get that. There's days it doesn't work. But what we teach people to do is when you catch a fish, get your bait back in the water and go 0.2 miles an hour faster. And you catch another one, go 0.2 miles an hour faster. And catch another one, go 0.2 miles an hour faster. Now you stop catching them. Now, obviously, if you're in the same spot where you should be catching them and you don't, now you've just figured out how fast you can go. Most people catch a fish at 1.5, that's where they stop. They never go any faster, not knowing that at 2.0 they might catch more fish. And here's the kicker that, guys, it's hard to convince. You may catch bigger fish at 2.0 than you do at 1.5 because the reaction is different. So don't be afraid to try it.
Does it ever work the other way? Do you bump your speed down 0.2 miles an hour and down 0.2 miles an hour?
If I'm over fish, so my rule of thumb is this, and I get this question all the time: how long do you stay on a pot of fish? You know how I feel about finding fish, right? First, so that's a given. I'm going to assume I'm on the fish and I know how deep they are. If I make 2 good presentations, and I usually go 2 different directions, right? Because now you've got the wind, you've got the current. So I'll go through a pot of fish 2 different directions. If I go through them at what I would consider a normal speed for the time of year, this time of year I'm going to say 1.6 to 1.8. It should trigger something. If I do that over a pot of fish twice, 2 different directions, don't get a bite, I pick my stuff up and I leave. Because I feel, as I do in the summertime, as I do in the Detroit River, there are fish somewhere that how I say it in the summer is there's fish somewhere that want to die. There are fish somewhere that just want to kill themselves, commit suicide, and eat something plastic. So let's go find those fish instead of sitting on a pot of fish for 8 hours and trying to figure out what they want. Let's go find the dumb ones. Let's go find the ones that want to die. So I'll make 2 good passes. If the fish don't bite, I'm on to find another pod. I'll give those fish a chance. I'm on to another pod. And pretty soon we're going to find a pod that wants to bite.
And is that line of thinking different than when you were a tournament fisherman? Did you approach a day on the water differently back then?
Boy, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I wish I could go back and fish all the tournaments I fished with the knowledge I have now than fishing the way, to tournament fishing, your mentality is always taught, you only need 5 bites, you only need 5 bites. Well, if 10% of my fish are big or tournament-sized fish and I catch 6, that means that maybe one of them is going to be tournament size. Well, if 10% of my fish are tournament size and I catch 100, now I'm probably sorting through fish. So that mentality has definitely changed. There are some factors that go into that, where fish are located, how they're located, weather patterns. There's things that kind of change that. But more days than not, the more fish you can go over, the more fish you're going to catch. The more fish you catch, the better chance you're going to have of having the fish that you need for a tournament or the big fish you want to put on the wall. It's just simple math, and most guys don't do it. We're starting to see more and more people. You're starting to see more people troll at 2 and 2.5 and 3, and you're starting to see more tournament guys move a lot and do some things. So it's starting to kind of catch on a little bit more, but it's definitely something that folks just don't do enough of.
Will you continue chasing these big fish right on through the winter? Are you an ice fisherman, Lance?
I'm not an ice fisherman simply because of my schedule. I grew up a hockey player, so winter for us was hockey. And traditionally, by the time we really get good ice here in Michigan, it's the middle of December. I've got a little bit of time for my family, and I'm usually on the road. I usually leave the house 2nd or 3rd of January for our first seminar, and then we're gone until the end of March when we start Detroit River. So I really don't have time to ice fish. Now, who knows what 2021 wintertime is going to bring. So obviously my good buddy Mark Panazak up there right next door to Linwood Beach, Real Fishing, is a ice fishing guide. He has all the gear, he has all the stuff, he has airboats so you can be safe, and he's been on me. He's a guide up there at Linwood Beach also, and he's been bugging me every. He goes, dude, you got to go ice fishing with me. You got to go ice fishing. So I'll tell you this. Captain Lance will be ice fishing 2 or 3 times this year for sure. We'll put it into our schedule. We'll make time to do it. Will I fall in love with it? I don't know that. But, like anything fishing, I'm kind of afraid that I might get a new addiction and have to buy more stuff. So who knows? We'll see how that goes.
Lance, always a pleasure. I wish you good luck and fun on Lake Erie next weekend. People can sign up. Go to the websites, walleye101.com, teachinfishin.com. What's the best one to sign up? Which website, Lance?
Go to teachinfishin.com. At the top of the page, there's a link that says Fishing Education Weekend. Pop on that, and it'll take them right to all the information about the trip and where they can sign up.
Beautiful. Good luck. Have fun. We'll take a break here in the Outdoor Magazine Show. When we come back, our forecast for this winter, I said the word, I wasn't going to, with Michigan's meteorologist, Mark Torregrossa, right here on Outdoor Magazine. You can hear the Outdoor Magazine Show in Alpena on WZTK. That's 105.7 FM. You can hear us in Battle Creek on WBCK 95.3 FM. And you can hear us north of the bridge in Ishpeming on WIAN. That's 1240 AM. This segment of Outdoor Magazine brought to you by Boning Archery. Michigan-based Boning, a leader in the archery industry, celebrating 75 years next year. What a tremendous accomplishment that is. Boning makes great products, innovative products for archers of all kinds, competitive archers, weekend shooters, bow hunters, target archers, you name it, Boning can help you out. And again, celebrating 75 years next year. Check them out online at boning.com. That's BOHNING, boning.com. While you're online, check out a couple of websites, mlive.com and farmerweather.com, two places you can find Michigan's meteorologist, Mark Torregrossa, and you can hear him right now here on Outdoor Magazine. Mark, welcome back. How are you?
I am doing great, and hope everybody is also.
Absolutely appreciate that. It's a great time of year for deer hunters. We're in the, as Halloween gets here, the rut, the traditional time of year, the best time of year to be deer hunting. But it gets us thinking, Mark, down the road here a little bit, and I hate to even say the name of the season that is to follow, but...
What do you mean you hate? Are you saying you're getting a little older?
I'm saying I'm getting much older.
Ice used to enthuse you, remember?
It did, and so did snow and cold, and not so much anymore.
Right. Yep. Well, let's get into it. We have a La Nina that has fully formed. La Nina is the opposite of El Nino. La Nina is when the Pacific along the equator turns colder than normal, and the world weather patterns start to alter some, in some strong correlation to Michigan in some ways. So in a La Nina, as it gets stronger, we have a pretty strong chance of a wetter than normal winter from Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, northward up into the southeast half of lower Michigan. A storm track develops out of the southern plains, and they curve northward. And the cold air, the abnormally cold air, tends to be pretty close, but not a strong signal to come into our area. It hangs from Minnesota back through the Dakotas, back through Montana. Now, my thinking on that is on a La Nina, it means that cold source is always there pretty close to come down occasionally. So if you look at what's going on in the oceans, you look at any pattern that we could use to try and figure out what this winter would be, it would say we're near normal on temperatures and we're above normal on precipitation. Then we, of course, have to add in and factor in or, trend for the warming globe, the cycle that we're in now, whether you believe it's man-made or a natural cycle, the globe is warming, and that has tended to work on the extreme colds that last a long time of our winter, knock that back some. All in all, when you got something that leans toward a pretty vigorous winter, you got something that leans toward canceling out the cold, I think it says we have a fairly quote-unquote mathematical normal winter temperature-wise, and maybe quite a bit wetter than normal.
Interesting term, mathematical normal, because I look back at the winters we had back here in Michigan when I was a kid, and it was a far cry from what we're seeing today.
And it was because we had colder temperatures then, so snow lasted all winter long, and it compounded. We've actually developed something in meteorology called the Accumulated Winter Severity Index. And that says, when did the cold first, when did the first inch of snow fly, when did the last inch of snow happen, and how many days of the winter was snow on the ground. It accumulates up on you. But I'm looking at a stat right now because I wanted to bring this up to you. 11 of our last 15 winters in the Great Lakes state, Michigan, have been wetter than normal. Is snow up or down? Well, listen to this. In the top 20 snowiest winters at Flint, 8 of them have occurred since the year 2000.
Really?
So we've actually had quite a bit of snow mathematically. If you do like a 5-year running average or moving average of snowfall for Flint, you'll see that we're actually almost as high, or probably in the last few years since we've had some snow, higher than what we were in the 70s. But it just melts off. And that's why I say it's real hard for a meteorologist to tell you what's this winter going to be like, because our winter, when we look at it in meteorology, is we say, oh, it was 3 degrees colder than normal. Well, what does that mean to the average person? Because our winters are always up and down. But the big factors are we have the La Nina, which tends to make an active storm track, which, again, I don't know if you're a blizzard lover, but, man, I'd love to go back to a 1978 blizzard. Hey, it was fun, or 67. That could happen in this kind of winter, but it's really hard to get a sustained, long-lasting 2 months of extreme cold when the polar region is warming up.
Well, we will keep an eye on things. We'll keep an eye on farmerweather.com and mlive.com. You have periodic, almost daily posts there. Mark, always a pleasure, and I appreciate you joining us. Thanks a lot.
And don't winterize the boat yet.
Don't winter. Too late. Mine's already winterized.
I tell you all the time.
I know you do, but I have friends who still have boats on the water. Mark Torregrossa from mlive.com and farmerweather.com. Appreciate that insight into that season that is coming up that shall remain unnamed, at least out of my lips, as much as possible. We'll take a break when we come back. This week's Ask Avery segment talking about hunter numbers in this age of COVID. Security Credit Union wants to thank you for helping to make them one of Michigan's fastest growing credit unions. Check out Security's Debit Rewards program, where you can earn points just by using your debit or Titanium Rewards credit card. Redeem those points for great gifts and merchandise. Or how about the Save to Win account? That's a Security Credit Union account that gives you all the benefits of a traditional savings account, plus the chance to win big. Every $25 you deposit into this share certificate earns you an entry into the monthly and quarterly drawings. The more you save, the more chances to earn, up to 10 entries per month. You'll build up your savings, earn interest and dividends, and have a chance at multiple prizes. And remember, Security Credit Union loves to work with outdoorsmen and women, and they can help you with your next outdoor adventure. Check them out online at securitycu.org. That's securitycu.org. Federally insured by the NCUA. Have you tried the Mike Avery Hunter Sticks from Michigan Brand Meats? They feature two of my favorites, elk and pepper, and I think they taste great. I've been working with the Grillo family of Michigan Brand for a few years now, and I couldn't be happier. Michigan Brand is family-owned and based right here in Michigan, and they make lots of great products. From jerky, sausage, and those hunter sticks to their famous Michigan Brand hams, you can't go wrong with Michigan Brand meats. Plus, Michigan Brand can process your boned-out wild game, too. Check out the website, michiganbrand.net, for more info. That's michiganbrand.net. You can buy the Mike Avery Hunter Sticks on that website. Plus, you can get them at Jay's Sporting Goods, all Forward convenience stores, Jack's Fruit Markets, and many other great stores, too. There's a complete list on the website. Again, that's michiganbrand.net for the Mike Avery Hunter Sticks, the outstanding Michigan Brand hams, and lots more. michiganbrand.net.
It's a complicated world we live in. Right about now, I'll bet your head is spinning like a tornado with news and opinions and conflicting do this and don't do that recommendations. Some days, you just want to throw up your hands, go to the woods, and stay there. And that's not a bad idea. Jay's Sporting Goods encourages you to get back to your roots. Do some simple, traditional things for a while. In Michigan's great outdoors, space is one thing we have plenty of. So put as much social distance as you like between you and everyone else, including all your social media pals who somehow just recently became experts on every topic. And one more thing. Before you head out, head into Jay's Sporting Goods. Because even though there are shortages of a lot of things these days, Jay's has just what you need to make the most of your escape to our beautiful wide open spaces. It's the gateway to social distancing the way God intended. Jay's Sporting Goods, Clare and Gaylord.
Hey, you like to hunt for different game in changing conditions, but it can be expensive to buy hunting clothes in every pattern. Well, now there's a way to change your camo without breaking the bank. With VersaSkins, you can buy one set of hunting clothes and change the pattern to suit your surroundings. You can switch from whitetail to waterfall, blaze orange, and snow camo by just snapping on a new skin. Plus, VersaSkins keep you warm, dry, and protect you from the elements. To learn more, check out the website versaskins.com. VersaSkins, just change the skin for the season you're in.
When you buy a Michigan hunting or fishing license, you're helping to fund conservation efforts across the state. The majority of funding for taking care of Michigan's fish and wildlife comes from you, hunters and anglers, not state taxes. So on behalf of the Michigan Wildlife Council, we'd like to thank you for your part in ensuring that Michigan's hunting and fishing heritage will be here for generations. Learn how the Michigan Wildlife Council promotes the role of hunting and fishing at hereformioutdoors.org.
You can hear the Outdoor Magazine show in Saginaw on WSGW-FM 100.5. You can hear us in Muskegon on WKBZ, that's 1090 AM, and you can hear us in Manistee on WMLQ 97.7 FM. The Ask Avery segment each week is brought to you by Security Credit Union. Security Credit Union loves to work with outdoorsmen and women, and they can help you with your next outdoor adventure. Check them out online at securitycu.org. That's securitycu.org. The way the Ask Avery segment works is, and we do this every week at the end of the second hour, is it gives you a chance to ask me a question directly or to ask a question that you want me to pass along to somebody else. You can send those questions to me via email, Mike at MikeAveryOutdoors.com. In fact, that's a great way to get in touch with me for just about anything. Mike at MikeAveryOutdoors.com with questions for the Ask Avery segment, with comments, concerns, criticisms, gripes, or whatever. That's a great way to get in touch with me. You can also pose the questions on any of the social media outlets. Send me a private message or post them directly to the page. This question came up last week during Wednesday Night Live when we were talking about increased interest in the outdoors in the age of COVID, because there's been a lot of concern that angler numbers have been going down, and especially hunter numbers have been going down, trending down significantly year by year for the last several years here in Michigan and beyond. Well, one good thing that appears we've got something positive coming out of this whole COVID situation is that there appears to be a resurgence in interest in the outdoors. We're seeing this in license sales. We're seeing this in the retail, like Jay Sporting Goods. My friends there said they've seen interest in deer hunting and bow hunting this year like they haven't seen in a long, like ever. And you think about this, it does make sense, because when you're kind of struggling with a situation that you have no control over, COVID, you want to do something that you do have some control over. You can take yourself out of that environment, put yourself in a healthy environment, get yourself outdoors, remind yourself of a time before things were as funky as they are right now. Plus the fresh air. What better way to protect yourself? Get out and get some fresh air. So what does it boil down to? According to DNR numbers, and I've got 4 sheets right in front of me here, and I wish I was a statistician right now because I could make better sense of these and feel more confident with what I'm looking at. But what it boils down to that I can tell, unique anglers, not the number of fishing licenses sold, but the number of anglers who bought fishing licenses this year in Michigan at this point is up just over 9%, 9.16%. The number of hunters, unique hunters, up 12%. And that's actually pretty huge. When we can see a 12% bump in the number of hunters, that's a big deal. So how does this equate to the number of licenses? The license sales for all deer licenses in Michigan, according to the DNR's own numbers, is up 14% at this point, which equates something like 50,000 licenses. An additional 50,000 licenses sold so far this year in Michigan. But the big question is, as Chad Stewart was telling us in the first hour of this week's show, is does that mean that people have more time on their hands and they bought their licenses early this year? Or, as I brought up, could this mean that in this last couple of weeks here before the firearm season, we still have a big jump yet to see in the number of people who will buy their licenses. And we just don't know the answer to that. But at this point right now, some 50,000 more licenses sold, deer licenses overall. We're also seeing some other changes. For example, application interest in the Pure Michigan hunt. And I've been a big fan of the Pure Michigan hunt for the longest time, ever since they came out with it. And this is the hunt where for, I think it's $5, you get yourself a chance for deer, bear, turkey, elk, and you can buy multiple chances. Up 84% this year so far. Waterfowl licenses up 40%. Turkey licenses, spring and fall, up considerable. Like last spring, we saw the number of spring turkey licenses up an incredible amount, to the point where ZZ sold out. Southern Michigan private land sold out, and there was a 50,000 quota there. We've never seen that before. So we are seeing interest. We are seeing a renewed interest. The challenge at this point is to capitalize on this, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but to somehow take advantage, again, in a positive way, of this interest and keep it going after the age of COVID. When we're just looking in the rearview mirror and we've got a vaccine, we say, okay, we don't have to go outside to be safe anymore, but we still want people to do it. That's the challenge. So numbers are up, interest is up, license sales are up. It's all good. And again, thank you to my friends at Security Credit Union for helping to make each week's Ask Avery segment possible. Check them out online at securitycu.org. That's securitycu.org. We will take a break for the top of the hour. When we come back, our final hour this week, talking with Glenn Duncan of Duncan's Outdoor Shop about sighting in your deer gun. There's a art and a science to it. Details coming up after the break right here on Outdoor Magazine.